Hey, welcome back into the channel. I hope you guys are doing well. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, we are going to talk about the astrology for May 19th. So, this is the kind of day where conversations become destiny points. So, a conversation, a message, something you realize, maybe a secret, or just a sudden truth will change the direction of your life path. So, what's major that's going on in astrology for this day? We have Mercury square the lunar nodes. Then we have Mercury trine Pluto retrograde. So when you put this kind of energy together, the collective atmosphere ends up having karmic conversations. There'll be fated information coming through. You'll have psychological breakthroughs. There can be exposure of the hidden truths. And of course, mental, intense awakenings. People realizing they can no longer lie to themselves. So the collective is being pushed into a mental crossroads. So if you're new to the channel, Mercury rules communication, thoughts, media, information, technology, travel, social media, conversations, contracts, and learning. So the lunar nodes represent your destiny, your karmic direction, the collective timelines, the past versus the future. So when Mercury squares the nodes, people begin mentally wrestling with what they know versus what they need to accept. Old thinking patterns versus future growth. Fear versus truth. Comfort versus evolution. So this can feel like, I can't see this anymore. Or, something in me knows life is about to change. This transit often manifests through the shocking conversations you have, the unexpected messages you receive, truth bombs, karmic meetings, the sudden endings you may have, and realizing who can no longer come with you, and important decisions about the future. So people may mentally be overstimulated, feeling emotionally restless, and spiritually pulled into two directions at one time. This is where the energy gets deep though, because Mercury in Gemini trining Pluto retrograde in Aquarius creates an incredibly investigative atmosphere. So Pluto retrograde is already exposing hidden systems, buried emotions, manipulation, power dynamics, and suppressed truths. But Mercury trine Pluto gives people the ability to see through those lies, detect the manipulation that's happening, uncover secrets that have been hidden. They understand psychology, connect dots rapidly, speak with intensity and precision. So this detective energy, people become highly intuitive mentally during this time. So you may notice people suddenly exposing corruption that's been happening, hidden information surfacing online, relationship truths coming out, emotional confessions, people obsessing over finding answers. There's going to be deep research that spirals, intense conversations that permanently change their relationships. So this transit can also bring powerful collective awakenings around media and the manipulation, technology, AI, governments, corporations, social systems, hidden agendas, power and control. Because Pluto retrograde in Aquarius specifically transforms collective structures and and society itself. So how will people be feeling? Well, emotionally, they're going to feel restless. They're going to be a little more suspicious, hyper aware, mentally intense, emotionally observant, unable to ignore red flags during that time. And mentally, their thoughts will be racing. Their thinking will be obsessive. They will have sudden realizations. There's going to be breakthroughs, desires to figure everything out, and analyzing conversations deeply. But spiritually, people will be feeling pushed towards a new chapter, feeling like fate is intervening, realizing certain cycles are ending, sensing that major change is approaching. This is a day where many people will say, or may say, this is a day my intuition was right the whole time. What people need to watch out for during this time, because of the shadow side, is the obsessive thinking. So Mercury, Pluto energy can create mental fixation. You're going to notice people overanalyzing text messages. They may spiral into paranoia. They may become consumed by one issue. They may obsess over hidden meanings. Emotionally investigate everything. There's a thin line between your intuition and paranoia under the transit. So there's manipulation through words, and that day will carry enormous power when it comes to words. So you may find people trying to guilt trip you during this time. They may be psychologically trying to control. You may notice people starting to gaslight. And then there's going to be some that dominate conversations. Others expose secrets out of anger. So power struggles through communication is very possible during this time. Even online discourse may become more aggressive and psychologically charged. So community discussions around Mercury, Pluto energy often describe people becoming brutally honest, intense, controversial, or consumed by uncovering truth. So when it comes to the karmic conversations that day, well, Mercury square the nodes can bring fated interactions. So some people may reconnect with someone from the past. They could receive a message that changes everything. have a conversation that closes a cycle finally. They may realize they've outgrown certain people during this period and suddenly change direction in life. This is what's called a timeline shift. That's the type of transit we're going through. So there can be a lot of information overload, and that's because Gemini Mercury moves fast. Combined with Pluto, the nervous system can get overwhelmed. You're going to notice people may feel mentally exhausted during this time, overstimulated by media, addicted to the doom scrolling, emotionally drained from overthinking. This is not a day to absorb endless negativity online. So most people may want to actually take a break from online media, shut it down, get in nature, go for a walk, go back to the days we didn't have online media. That's going to help with not absorbing the negativity during that time. So you may find YouTube long form storytelling. This transit is incredible for discussing the truth versus illusion. Karmic turning points, psychological awakening, hidden information surfacing, exposure cycles, destiny-changing conversations, the collapse of old narratives, collective awakening through the communication. There will be social media revolutions. People will be reclaiming their personal power. And it's not loud or explosive energy like Mars. It's very quiet. But psychologically, it's extremely powerful. It's the kind of astrology that changes minds permanently during this time period. So the best advice for the collective: pause before reacting emotionally. Verify information before spreading it. Trust your intuition, but avoid paranoia. Pay attention to reoccurring messages and signs. Notice who reveals their true character, and listen carefully during these conversations that you're having. Avoid manipulative communication, and protect your nervous system from overstimulation. Understand that some endings are redirecting you towards your future. This energy is ultimately about mental evolution. The collective is being pushed to think differently, communicate differently, and see reality from a deeper level than before. So if you like this kind of content and you find it to be helpful, make sure you subscribe, share, like, comment. All of those things helps the channel to spread out to other people that are looking for the same kind of content. And until the next one, I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon.